Hi, Stephanie here with mahalodotcom. You know, everyone tells a lie at some point in their life, and you know, teenagers are certainly not immune. Well, Vanessa is here to talk a little bit more about how can we tell if our teen is lying.
So, as you said, everyone lies, it's normal, but I think it's really important for parents to get very attuned and very intuitive about when their teen is lying, especially when it comes to the issues like, where were you tonight? Why are you late? You know, are you doing this? It's really important to be able to gauge if your teen is lying or not. So the first thing is to know what emotions are like on your teenager, how your teenager looks when they're angry, how they look when they're surprised, when they're sad, because you can then tell when you ask them a question what their micro expression is. So a micro expression is a very quick facial expression. It is almost impossible for us to control our micro expressions. So when you ask a teenager, you know, did you know about the pot that I found in your room? You can see if they flash a short micro expression. It's important to know the difference between a surprise micro expression, a fear one, a sad one, and every teenager looks a little bit different when they do that. So what I would say is sit down with your teenager, or ask them a couple of questions and see what their face looks like when they show those different kinds of emotions, because that way when you're in the really hard topics, you'll be able to tell how they look and what they're feeling.
You have to find out, I guess it sounds like what you're saying is what's normal for them. So in other words, if they're fidgeting around a lot, that's not necessarily a sign of that they're lying?
Yeah, so that's called a baseline. So a baseline is what someone looks like when they're telling the truth. So for example, a lot of the lie detection websites will say, oh, when someone's shifting their eyes or not looking at you, they're lying. Well, that's not always the case. If a teenager has shifty eyes and they're looking away from you all the time when they're telling the truth, then that doesn't necessarily mean that they're lying. So what I would do is see what your teenager looks like when they're telling the truth. Ask them very basic questions. How was your day at school? That can be a very basic one. Or, what did you think about your birthday party? Something easy that they wouldn't lie about, and see, are they fidgety? Does their voice tone change? Typically, girls' voices tend to go up when they lie, typically, so they kind of get like this. And boys' voices tend to go down when they lie. So you want to see, is that true for your teenager? Finding those baselines will really help you when you're asking them the really hard questions.
Okay, is there anything else we need to know about how we can tell if our teen is lying?
Yes, one more thing, and this is after the fact, seeing if they show relief when you change the subject. So for example, if you ask them a question about maybe cheating on a test, or if they stole money out of your wallet, if they're really relieved after you move on or ask them a different question, oftentimes that can show that there was something going on there. It doesn't necessarily mean they were lying, but there is some real emotional charge with the question that you asked.
Okay, and quickly, is there an online resource or a book that you'd recommend?
I love Paul Ekman. He has an amazing resource on his website, and a lot of his books are great for lie detection.
Thanks, Vanessa. Some great tips on how to tell if our teen is lying. Now, if you'd like more information about this or any of the topics discussed here, you can go ahead and click on these links, or you can subscribe to Mahalo Parenting, or go ahead and send us an email at requests@mahalo.com. Thanks for watching.